Hello everyone, we're right back at you with Against All Odds. We'll be giving you 6 games and 3 likely goal scorers. I'm Deji, I'm riding with Kelechi today. Kelechi, we start off in England where Arsenal hosts Watford at the Emirates. A game that produces loads of goals. Last 6 meetings have seen at least 3 goals. We're playing it a bit safe, but we think at least 2 goals in that game.
Even the last 5 at home for Arsenal has also seen at least 3 goals in it. Interestingly, for the Arsenal side, it's not just that they are scoring.
Yeah, they've been conceding as well.
They can also keep it tight at the back. So I think
Peter Cech has been waiting for 200 days to make his 200 clean sheets.
I think he's going to wait for more. He'll have to wait a little longer to get that clean sheet. I think Troy Deeney will be informed. Don't forget that this fixture last season saw Watford go to the Emirates to shock Arsenal.
All right, so we are expecting at least 2 goals in that one, Arsenal versus Watford. All right, then, so we'll move on to Italy, where they are still mourning the death of Davide Astori. Really sad one, Kelechi, in Italy. But football will continue this weekend. There's no football games on Sunday, the day the terrible news broke, of course. This time around, there's Juventus, the host Udinese, a team that cannot just do well. You know, poor form from Udinese. We think Juventus should win that game.
The fact that you look at Udinese themselves, 3 away from home, they've not been able to get a victory in that one. Juventus themselves have won 35 of their last 38 games. You just feel that they have enough in there to get what they need.
All right, Kelechi, let's move on to Spain. Atletico Madrid, unbeaten in all their home games in La Liga this season. The whole Celta Vigo, we think they should avoid defeat again.
Their last 15, that marked the number 15. That shows how they are unbeaten in the La Liga at home. Their last 15 games, they've not seen defeat, and I think they would avoid defeat against the Celta Vigo side, who also are not good away from home. Their last 3, they've actually lost it. So I think for Atletico Madrid, who are a run of form, though they lost to Barcelona last weekend, the likes of Diego Costa, Griezmann, and also Koke, I think have enough to bring Saul into it. I think they would avoid defeat in this game.
All right, so just 2 defeats for Atletico Madrid so far this season against Espanyol and Barcelona. The Catalan team is doing their things on the Madrid team so far this season. We move on from Spain and we go into Germany, Kelechi. It's Bayern Munich, the host Hamburger SV. We think Bayern Munich should win that game and at least 2 goals.
Hamburger has lost 9 of their last 11 away games in the Bundesliga. For Bayern Munich themselves, this fixture, the last 6 times, has actually gone in favour of them. And you're looking at the Bayern side who has been scoring for fun. At least 2 to 3 goals that you've seen in their last few games. So I think asking them to win and actually score 2 goals is not much.
Well, moving on to France, PSG, wounded Lions, of course, now out of the Champions League. But we think they will unleash hell on Metz. At least 3 goals in that game at home against Metz.
I think they're a wounded lion, and unfortunately, a wounded lion who is looking for a prey to pounce on. And Metz might be like that one. Metz are the 2nd worst defense in the Ligue. PSG have the best attack in the Ligue. PSG themselves score goals for fun. I think their last 6 home games have seen at least 3 goals in it. So when you look at that and then look at the fact that the fans are looking for a reaction after that loss to Real Madrid in the Champions League, you just feel that these 3 goals we're asking for, we might have it and even have more.
All right, and finally, I'll move on to the Dutch Eredivisie, where Ajax hosts Henriven. Ajax have been splendid at home, really. Well, poor away from probably, but then at home, we think they should win a side who not particularly good travellers.
I think their last 3 or more games away from home, they've lost. This fixture, Ajax has always won. In their last 6 meetings, Ajax have actually gone on to win this one. I think for Ajax themselves, they know that they can't get on to catch PSG.
If they continue to drop points.
If they can. Well, I think for PSG themselves, they're doing enough to go on to win. I think they will win the title. So for Ajax, I think they're just trying to cement that 2nd place. And with a victory against Eindhoven, they will be happy with that.
Our first goal scorer, Harry Kane, he's been scoring for fun lately. He has 6 goals in his last 7 games in the Premier League. We think against Bournemouth, he should bag another.
He was supposed to do 6 in 6. He had done 5 in 5. It was like him setting a new record for himself, 6 in 6. And then last weekend, he was only able to give an assist. But I think he would go on to at least to get a goal against this Bournemouth side, who themselves have been shipping in the goals for free.
he has a knack of scoring hat tricks in Bournemouth. So you can just go a step further for good measure. Up next is Edison Cavani. Edison is against Metz. We saw him in the Champions League. Even when he's not trying, he can still score.
For a man who scored 24 goals in the league this season, Edison Cavani, I don't think it's too much to ask him to get a goal against a Metz side after their loss to Real Madrid. And also, don't forget, he scored 5 in his last 4. So I think for a man in form, Cavani would actually be able to get one in there.
And finally, probably the most informed goal scorer in Europe at the moment, Cristiano Ronaldo. 15 in his last 10 games, and he's been scoring for fun. Scored in each of his last 6. Should bag another against Eibar.
Eibar seems to be one of the sides who also have been doing well in the La Liga. Yes, I think it's not going to be as easy as we want it to look, but I think Ronaldo, if he plays, because he then has been doing a lot of rotation, but if Ronaldo gets to play, I think he might actually get a penalty and slot it in, at least in that one.
All right then, so those are our games, 6 games and 3 likely goal scorers. As we tell you, nothing is cast in stone, but based on certain statistics which we've given you and probabilities, we feel these games will come through. Follow us on our social media handles, and of course call your friends to subscribe onto our YouTube page. It's at Tregum TV. Have yourself a great weekend.